viewers, thanks for joining us yet again for the Newscast on CMTV. In what's topping the news today, an accident occurred at the Moya Highway early this morning between two trailers and left one person injured, but no life was lost. Out of the country, presidential elections in Ghana have reached fever pitch as just 2 days are left for the final results to be released. And in sports, the 2016-2017 football season of the Cameroon Professional League will commence on the 21st of January 2017. Those were the headlines, details and more subsequently. Rally was recently organized by the Cameroon's People Democratic Movement (CPDM) under the theme "Yes to National Unity, Peace, Concord and Fraternity." The rally, which took place at the Independence Square in Buea, was under the auspices of the Secretary General of the CPDM, Mr. Nkwain. Let's have an explicit report of the joint CPDM rally with our Chief Senior Analyst and Correspondent, Ta Mai Javis.
The joint CPDM rally came under the banner "Yes to National Unity, Peace, Concord and Fraternity." The event that brought together transported men, women, children, boys and girls all over the southwest region of Cameroon was chaired by the Secretary General of Cameroon's People Democratic Movement, Nkwain, accompanied by top-ranking government officials and the like of Prime Minister Philemon Yang, Senator Peter Mafani Mosonge, chief and other traditional elite of the southwest region. Welcoming the Yaoundé establishment was the Grand Chancellor of National Orders, Senator Peter Mafani Mosonge, who reaffirms the position of the people of Southwest region in maintaining peace and order and promoting the head of state agenda of national unity and prosperity. Senator Peter Mafani Mosonge called on teachers and lawyers to stop their strike immediately, and parents should endeavor to send their children to school. For the lawyers and teachers strike is bent on destroying the future of Cameroon by not educating the leaders of tomorrow, as the government is bent on resolving the problems posed by teachers and lawyers. So the striking teachers and lawyers have no reason at this point in time to tell the children not to go back to school. Reasons why the government, through his illustrious head of state President Paul Biya, has given the sum of 2 billion CFA francs to educational sector, and they order the recruitment of 1,000 bilingual science and technical teachers.
We are happy that the protesting lawyers and the striking teachers are seeing for themselves the good faith and the will of the President of the Republic and the government to provide solutions to their expressed grievances. The recruitment of 1,000 bilingual teachers and the disbursement of 2 billion francs for the education sector, the translation of the Ohada law, amongst other measures, are all welcome and serve as an example of a government of the people, by the people, for the people. With great satisfaction.
The questions many teachers are posing are: what is the meaning of bilingual science teachers and technical teachers? Secondly, how will the 2 billion CFA francs allocated to the educational family be shared among the Anglophone and the Francophone schools, pending on the fact that it was the Anglophone sector that are on strike? According to the teachers, the offer presented to them by the head of state is not important at this point in time, that their strike is not bent on money. According to the Secretary General of the Cameroon's People's Democratic Movement, Nkwain, the same problem that the Anglophones are complaining is the same faced by all the 10 regions of Cameroon. Minister Nkwain said the government is doing its best in order to ensure the redistribution of income and responsibility to the entire Cameroon. The guest of honor, Prime Minister Philemon Yang, took to the podium and introduced himself as speaking on behalf of the elite for the northwest region of Cameroon. He called on all the striking teachers to go back to class and lawyers to return back to the court as government is doing its best in order to resolve the issues.
I am a special guest representing the elite of the northwest region. And I am accompanied by many people who are sitting up there and behind me. We thank all of you for attending this rally. It is a great rally. We of the Northwest region are proud to be at this meeting, presided over graciously by the Secretary General of the Central Committee. Why are we here today? We bring you a message of hope for all school children and all parents. Dear mothers and fathers, it is important that all of our children go back to school.
The question that is on deck is, why at this point in time teachers are still bent on their strike? Secondly, what will become of this academic year if the whole first term move down the drain? And thirdly, the nation of Cameroon that is on the verge to achieve Vision 2035, what becomes of the fate?
Not to respect the form of the state as defined by the Constitution. That means a decentralized unity state with 10 regions. If there are any grievances, they have to be discussed and solved. You don't go to try to change the form of the state through violence. Okay?
Prime Minister Philemon Yang and his government head to Yaoundé with one message from the people of the southwest region that there is a problem and needs to be addressed, as the delegation failed to address the issue of brutality and even admitted that there was police brutality. Teachers and lawyers too, one message was sent to them that the government is listening to their cries. Tajavi signing out.
Senior analyst Tajavi ending that report at the Independence Square in Boya. And now onto our start page. A serious accident occurred today in Moya between two trailers. One of the trailers was parked by the roadside undergoing repairs by its repairer who was beneath the trailer. Another trailer carrying cocoa taking the same path collided with the parked trailer and caused a severe damage. The repairer beneath the vehicle was badly injured, but no life was lost. This is not the first time trailers along the Moya Highway get involved in road accidents. Talking to some eyewitness at the accident scene, we got the following feedback.
This one it jammed one a turn. This one turn so look like corner. Yes. You see no, that way don't jam now. So now the motorboy he hit them about that this motor too. The motorboy come out or it be the jump. You be talking about in the afternoon. We can't see motorboy there under tire. You know, he died. When he don't die, don't can go for. I mean, when I'm moving for under the tire and they go. You say no die no. No, we move the movie for under tire. Okay. No change.
A peace movement known as the United Support for Peace recently paid visits to some of the students who were brutalized during the strike action in Boya. These movements, through the United Support Initiative, thought it wise to help the students through financial and moral support, which could in one way or another help the affected students cater for their health needs so as to speed up their recovery process. In an interview with some members of the United Support for Peace movement and some of the beneficiaries of the aid, we were told about the brain behind the initiative as well as some expressions of gratitude from the affected students.
Yeah, I'm Minimal Cosmas, a student from the University of Boya, precisely educational psychology. So on that day I was brutalized on my way at Nkwain going down towards UB Junction.
So were you, okay, you were not involved in the strike?
I was not involved in the strike.
You were just walking on the street?
Yes.
And you were brutalized?
Yes.
It's a sad situation.
I on that particular day at Malingo Junction going down to UB Junction.
Okay, so were you involved in the hostilities there at school? Okay, you were just a passerby around Malingo and they got you beaten?
Yes.
Okay. Can you show us your injury? You had a fractured knee. You are very sorry about the situation. That here by my side is Mate Cosmas, and on the other side is Jack Roland. We are all volunteers for this cause. This organization is aimed at helping students who were involved in the UB unrest. Our NGO is seeing the possibilities of us paying their bills, and we have visited a good number of them. Presently, we are in the premises of one of our victims. My name is Blanche. She has also benefited from the plan. Today, the 5th of December, we have visited about 4 to 5 victims. We have also sent a delegation to Limbe to visit some other students who have been admitted at the Nkwain hospital. So it is not the end. We are going to continue tomorrow as much as we have more victims, and if they can attest to the fact that they were injured, monies will be made available, moderate spending will be made available for them to see how we can.
On our business page, Moroccan group Intersia, specialized in client relationship management, will open a new branch in Douala on December 13, 2016. The company will operate a platform of 500 call center representatives for a mobile telephone operator present on the local market. On January 2016, Intersia announced its arrival in Cameroon and later revealed through a legal notice that it has increased its capital after a merging operation. In a bid to boost cocoa and coffee production in Cameroon, the Ministry of Agriculture, in the second phase of the project to support the use of fertilizer in the cocoa and coffee sector, distributed 35 tons of chemical and organic fertilizer to 24 producer cooperatives. It is believed that this project will enable the distribution to cocoa and coffee producers with a total of 2,800 tons of fertilizer over a 6-year period. The project aims at reaching a total production of 600,000 tons of cocoa by the year 2020. Coming up next on our foreign page, a strike in Kenya has led to the death of about 20 persons, and Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta has urged for the halt of the protest. Stay tuned. Making news internationally, hackers have targeted the website of Ghana's Electoral Commission as votes are counted after tightening contested elections. The commission says the website is up again, but it is currently blank. President John Mahama is facing a strong challenge from main opposition leader Nana Akufo-Addo in a campaign dominated by Ghana's faltering economy. A runoff will be held later in the month if neither of the two main candidates secures more than 50% of the vote. In the previous elections in 2012, Mr. Mahama defeated Mr. Akufo-Addo by less than 300,000 votes. Results are expected in the next 2 days. Presidential candidate Mr. Akufo-Addo said he hoped for another election as he voted in Kibi in the south of Ghana. It is very important that this process goes off efficiently, smoothly and peacefully so that Ghana continues to maintain its deserved image of being a democracy that takes democracy seriously. The candidate signed a pact last week vowing to follow electoral rules and keep the peace. Clashes near the border with Togo recently left 1 person dead and 6 in a critical condition. Zimbabwe's central bank says it is about to release another $7 million US worth of bond notes into circulation. 10 million US worth of bond notes, a surrogate currency that Zimbabweans are extremely skeptical of, were put into circulation last Monday. Release of bond notes will have to speed up during December if the bank is to release the full 75 million US dollars it had promised before Christmas. In 2003, Zimbabwe printed money called bearer checks, which brought about hyperinflation and shortages. Many lost their savings. The bank has promised Zimbabweans a good outcome this time around and thanked them for embracing the banknotes. The Egyptian government has embarked on an ambitious reform program aimed at revitalizing the economy. The North African country, serious economic challenges since the 2011 revolution, hopes that sweeping reforms over the next 3 years will boost foreign investment and ignite its manufacturing sector. The government projects that the reform program will significantly enhance transparency and raise more competition. 22 new business clusters will be established by 2020. It's also targeting economic growth of 6%, decreased budget deficit 10% from the current 12.2%, and reduce the public debt to levels below 88% of GDP by 2018. And now on to Kenya. Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta has urged doctors and nurses to end their strike, which entered continues till now. Several patients have died in public hospitals where no minimum service is provided. Others were directed to private hospitals which majority of the population cannot afford. Some 5,000 doctors, nurses, pharmacists and dentists have triggered a national strike after Sunday's failed negotiations between unions and government on wage increases. The unions are calling for a four-fold increase in doctors' salaries and a 25–40% increase in nurses' salaries, which were registered in 2013. Nearly 20 people have died in 3 days because of lack of care from the medical personnel who are all on strike. Liverpool defender Joel Matip might join the Lions of Cameroon ahead of the African Cup of Nations come 2017. Sports stories right after now.
Hey ladies and gentlemen, you are watching right now CMTV. It's your #1 channel. Entertainment is never enough.
Today, the 2016-2017 football season of the Cameroon Professional League, which is scheduled for December 10, will commence on January 21, 2017. In a meeting held recently in Yaoundé, chaired by the President General Semengwe, the resolutions as regard the 2016-2017 football season were adopted. The commitment of the partners of the league and the unavailability of the Kwekong Omnisport Stadium in Bafoussam, which will host the national interpools from December 7, are responsible for the postponement of the commencement date. This is not the first time the kickoff of the professional league has been postponed. It was postponed twice last year before it effectively began. As at now, nothing has yet been said on subventions to clubs and the major innovations introduced this year, among other things. Indomitable Lions captain Hugo Broos is optimistic Liverpool defender Joel Matip will join up with the Cameroon for the African Cup of Nations come 2017. Matip has not played with Cameroon for over a year since his self-imposed exile from the national setup. The 25-year-old has earned 27 caps but has previously spoken out against his country and has ignored calls from the Cameroon boss. But Hugo Broos is now hopeful that recent discussions with the defender could result in Matip's returning to the side for the 2017 African Cup of Nations. The defender returned to training today during their warm-up weather break in Barcelona and is expected to be fit for the match against West Ham this Sunday. And finally, on our sports page, Real Madrid forward Cristiano Ronaldo could face a minimum of 6 years in prison if he is found guilty of tax fraud. The 31-year-old is alleged to have directed at least 150 million euros of his income through tax haven since joining Real Madrid from Manchester United in 2009. Ronaldo's agency has strongly denied the claims, but Jose Maria revealed that, if found guilty, the three-time Ballon d'Or winner could face jail. And that sports report brings us towards the end of this edition of the Newscast on CMTV. But before we take leave of you, a quick reminder of our top stories. Accidents occurred at the Moya Highway early this morning between two trailers and left one person injured, but no life was lost. Out of the country, we informed you that presidential elections in Ghana have reached fever pitch as just 2 days are left for the final results to be released. And in sports, the 2016-2017 football season of the Cameroon Professional League will commence on the 21st of January 2017. For more information, visit our website at www.studentmusictv.com. For presentation, I am Ikomi Christine Wela Eposi. Keep a rendezvous with us every 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. for the Newscast on CMTV. At this point, it's a goodbye.